My $2 million yacht hit the concrete with a sound I will hear in my nightmares forever. The whole marina shook. Fiberglass screamed. People gasped. Someone screamed, and then cut themselves off because there were kids around. Up on the travel lift platform, Carolyn Mercer, president of the Harbor Crest Marina and HOA, folded her arms and said, loud enough for the crowd to hear, "That's what happens when you don't pay your fees, Mr. Bennett." The 70-foot yacht, my yacht, Akila, lay half on the cradle, half on the boatyard pavement, hull cracked open like a broken egg. One of the guys running the lift was on his knees, hands on his head, mumbling, "We're so fired, we're so fired, we're so fired." I stared at the wreck, then at Carolyn. "You realize," I said, voice weirdly calm, "this is criminal destruction of property, right?" She smirked. "You should have read the bylaws. The association has the right to seize and dispose of delinquent vessels." From behind me, a familiar voice said, "Actually, it doesn't." We all turned as Harbor County Sheriff's deputies walked in, with a guy in a suit I knew very well. Because he worked for me. And Carolyn had just totaled a yacht belonging to the man who secretly owned the entire marina she ran. Name's Isaac Bennett, 38, early retired from tech, slipped my way out of Silicon Valley with a buyout and a headache. I don't party, I don't flash cash, I don't throw wild boat raggers with EDM and glow sticks. My dream was boring, a little townhouse by the water and a boat big enough to live on part-time and take out on weekends. That's it. So I moved to Harbor Crest Landing, a luxury waterfront community on Bluefin Bay. Rows of pastel townhomes, a private marina, and a glossy brochure that promised resort-style living with professional HOA management in every other sentence. What the brochure didn't mention was Carolyn. Carolyn Mercer was the HOA president and de facto queen of the docks, mid-50s, blonde helmet bob, permanent windbreaker, and a visor that hadn't left her head since 2009. She carried a clipboard like it was a weapon and referred to the marina as my harbor so often people had almost started believing her. I met her the day I moved in. She marched down the dock as the crew finished tying up Akila, all 70 gleaming feet of her. "Excuse me," she said, not looking at me, looking at the boat. "Is this vessel staying here?" "Yeah," I said. "Slip C-14. Signed the lease last month." She blinked, finally focusing on me. "You're Isaac?" "That's me." Her eyes flicked from my jeans, to my hoodie, to my face. "How old are you?" 38. She sniffed. "Most people with yachts like this are more established." "Sorry," I said. "I can grow a beer gut and a second marriage if it helps." She did not laugh. "This is a family marina," she said. "We have standards. We don't allow tech bros with party boats driving down property values." "This boat costs more than your house," I said, cheerfully. "I promise she's good for the neighborhood." She pursed her lips. "We'll see if you fit in." The first welcome to the neighborhood letter from the HOA arrived, stapled to a violation notice. Infraction number 001. Yacht hull color not pre-approved. Too flashy and non-coastal white. Name font considered aggressive. Fine, $250. Akila was navy with elegant silver script. Not a skull in sight. I emailed the HOA. "Hi Carolyn, please point me to the guideline specifying hull color and font style. I don't see it in the marina rules." Signed, Isaac. No reply, just infraction number 002. Dock box too large. Water hose coiled in a hazardous fashion. Grill on flybridge suggests unauthorized live aboard use. I was a live aboard 3 nights a week. Totally allowed per the actual lease. The marina rules clearly stated, live aboards up to 15 nights per month permitted with fee. I was under that. Then the fees started mutating. My regular slip fee, $2,400 per month. My HOA assessment, $300 per month. Totally expected. Then suddenly, special assessment for harbor security upgrade, $750. No wake initiative donation, mandatory, $150. Luxury yacht surcharge, $1,000. I nearly choked on my coffee at that last one. I showed up at the monthly HOA meeting in the clubhouse. It was me, 6 retirees, 1 tired-looking treasurer, and Carolyn at the head of the table like an angry queen. "What is a luxury yacht surcharge?" I asked. She clasped her hands. "Bigger vessels cause more wear on the docks, create more wake, and attract an element. Extra fees are appropriate." "There's zero mention of this in my slip contract," I said. "I'm not paying invented fees." Her eyes glittered. "Then we will escalate collection remedies. We've seized boats before, you know." Spoiler, they had not. But I didn't know that yet. I checked my bank account. The regular Marina management auto draft went through. The HOA surcharges kept bouncing back. Then the threats started. Failure to remit fees will result in lien, impound, and ultimately disposal of your vessel per Section 9.3 of Harbor Crest Covenants. Section 9.3, I discovered, was about lawn care in the townhome phase, not boats. At the docks, the harassment got weirder. Anonymous warnings zip-tied to my stanchions. Passive-aggressive notes like "This isn't South Beach" taped to my shore power pedestal. A rumor that my yacht was owned by a shady charter operation and would turn the marina into a party cove. Meanwhile, I quietly collected everything. Emails, letters, photos, screenshots of the official, unmodified Marina rules versus the Frankenstein versions in Carolyn's updated binder. Because here's the part she didn't know. The marina wasn't owned by the HOA. It was owned by a holding company. My holding company. The morning everything snapped, I woke up to the sound of machinery. Heavy machinery. I stepped out onto my flybridge and froze. A travel lift, those giant blue steel frames that pick up boats, was slowly rolling down the yard, empty sling swaying. 2 marina employees walked ahead, looking uncomfortable. Behind them, in her signature windbreaker, was Carolyn, barking instructions like she was invading Normandy. She pointed directly at Akila. "That's the one. C-14. Impound it." I hopped down to the dock. "What the heck are you doing?" I called. Carolyn waved a paper in my face. "Final notice of seizure for non-payment of HOA fees." "You were warned." "That is not a thing," I said. "You cannot just steal my boat." "It's not stealing if we have authority," she said. "Per the covenants, we can tow, impound, and liquidate any non-compliant vessel to satisfy unpaid assessments." I plucked the paper from her hand. The letterhead was a mess of clip art anchors. The bylaws section she'd highlighted was actually about removing abandoned kayaks from the community beach. She'd just circled watercraft and decided it applied to 7-figure yachts. Behind her, the travel lift engines revved. The 2 yard guys looked at me, eyes apologetic. "Isaac, man," one muttered. She said the board approved it. She threatened to fire us if we refused to move it. "Don't worry about it," I said. "Just don't die." I pulled out my phone and hit call. "Hey, Jordan," I said when my attorney picked up. "We're at openly committing felonies in broad daylight now. Time to roll." While I stayed on the dock, loudly, clearly telling them, "You do not have my consent to move this vessel," the crew, under Carolyn's direction, slung the straps around Akila and lifted her out. She got halfway up when someone yelled, "Whoa, whoa, she's not balanced." One of the straps had slid. The bow dipped. The whole 90,000 pounds of yacht lurched sideways. And that's when my nightmare sound happened. The travel lift jolted. Akila swung, one strap held, the other slipping off the bow. The slings bit into the hull. The crane operator swore and hit the emergency stop. Didn't matter. There was a sickening crack as the strap sheared through fiberglass. The bow slammed down into the yard with horrifying finality, sending a spray of paint chips and shattered gel coat across the concrete. Someone screamed. Someone else got sick. I just stood there. Carolyn turned white, then bright red. "Well," she said, too loudly, "that's unfortunate. But maybe next time you'll pay your—" "Stop talking," I said. She rounded on me. "Excuse me?" My phone buzzed. I put it on speaker. "Mr. Bennett, it was Deputy Morales from Harbor County Sheriff's Office. We're here at the Marina entrance per your call." "Where exactly?" I raised my hand. "Over here, Deputy." 2 cruisers pulled up. With them, a man in a navy blazer and sunglasses, carrying a slim leather folder. "Mr. Bennett," he said with a tight little smile. "Sorry about the delay. Parking's a nightmare when someone's blocking the fire lane with their Range Rover." I grinned. "No worries, Adam." This was Adam Klein, General Counsel for Bluefin Harbor Holdings, LLC. The company that owned the docks, the boatyard, the fuel dock, the slips. The company whose majority shareholder was, surprise, me. Deputy Morales took one look at the scene, my wrecked yacht, the guilty travel lift, the paper in my hand, and went very still. "You want to tell me what happened here, ma'am?" he asked Carolyn. She launched into her speech. This delinquent owner refused to pay his HOA fees, so the association exercised its right to impound and— "Ma'am," Adam cut in, "the association doesn't own the marina. My client's company does. The only party authorized to impound vessels here is the marina owner, via the dockmaster. Not you." "That's not true," she snapped. "We run this harbor. We voted." "You voted," Adam said, "to violate a commercial lease, impersonate marina management, and direct employees to move a vessel over its owner's explicit objection, which directly resulted in damages north of," he glanced at Akila, "we'll get the surveyor out, but I'm guessing 7 figures. Deputy Morales's eyebrows climbed. "Wait," Carolyn sputtered. "He's the owner?" "Of what?" "The marina," Adam said. "And the yard." "And technically, the hoist you just used to drop his yacht." The yard guys simultaneously removed their harbor crest ball caps like they were trying to vanish. Morales turned to me. "Mr. Bennett, do you want to press charges for destruction of property and criminal interference with your lease rights?" "Yes," I said. "Very much yes." He nodded slowly. "All right then." He pulled out his cuffs. Carolyn actually laughed. "You can't arrest me," she said. "I'm on the HOA board. We're non-profit." "That's not immunity," Morales said. "Turn around." Watching Carolyn get cuffed in front of my half-killed yacht shouldn't have been satisfying. It absolutely was. She twisted, outrage pouring out of her in a fountain of entitlement. "This is harassment. I was protecting property values," she snarled. "This whole place would fall apart without me." Adam showed the deputy a page from his folder. "Here's the marina lease the HOA signed 3 years ago. Paragraph 14. Association acknowledges it has no authority to operate, seize, impede, or otherwise interfere with vessels or equipment belonging to marina tenants." Her signature is right there. Morales glanced at it, then at Carolyn. "Yeah, this is pretty bad." The second deputy was already talking to the travel lift operator. "She said she was our boss," he said, voice shaking. "There's a rumor she's been trying to buy the marina for years. We didn't know she couldn't order us around." Back at the HOA office that afternoon. Yes, I went. It was too good to miss. There was an emergency board meeting. Adam and I sat at the back while the remaining board members paled their way through a stack of documents. Adam slid a paper to them. Notice of default and termination, Bluefin Harbor Holdings, LLC, to Harbor Crest Landing HOA. In calm legalese, it laid out, they had violated the marina lease through unauthorized interference. They had attempted to unlawfully impound a tenant's vessel. They had caused catastrophic damage to said vessel. The lease could now be terminated at Bluefin's discretion. The HOA treasurer, a guy named Ken, dropped his pen. "If you pull the lease, we lose the marina access. And the subsidy on slip fees," Adam said. "And the right to call this a waterfront community in your marketing. And possibly your insurance." "You can't do that," one board member whimpered. "People bought here because of the marina." I leaned forward. "I did," I said. "And I paid every actual fee I owed, to the penny. But your president decided to invent charges, threatened to steal my boat, then literally drop it on the pavement." Ken stared at me. "You could sue us for everything we have." "Oh, I will," I said. "But I'm not an unreasonable man. Fire Carolyn. Resign everyone who voted for this. Hand control of the HOA finances to a neutral management company. Rewrite your rules to reflect reality, not whatever power fantasy she was living in. Then maybe we talk about a lease renewal. And if we don't, another board member asked. Adam smiled politely. Then Harbor Crest Landing becomes formerly Harbor Crest Landing, now just beige townhomes near a muddy public ramp. The vote to fire Carolyn as president was unanimous. Didn't help her much at her arraignment, though. Carolyn was charged with criminal mischief, fraudulent misrepresentation, and interference with a business relationship. She got probation, a massive restitution order, and a judge who said, on record, an HOA is not a shadow government. She was barred from serving on any HOA board in the state for 10 years. Her special assessments were audited and, let's just say the IRS took an interest. She stood there in the courtroom, face drained of all color, hands shaking as the judge read the terms. 10 years, she whispered. 10 years. Her lawyer put a hand on her shoulder, but she jerked away, staring at the judge in complete disbelief.